What's up, big soccer heads? I'm Eric Krakauer. He's Lloyd Sam. We're at Hooligans, and we are celebrating Charlotte FC's first ever away win. I did that before I took the sip.
Did you do the before you did the sip? No way. No way did you do that.
No,
keep that in.
Yeah,
keep that in.
Keep it in.
No,
keep it
did
in.
you do the before you did the sip? I can't believe you.
Lloyd, you're in a very happy mood, and you are appropriately attired today.
I am. You know, first away win. I had to come dressed right.
Well, you did.
I gotta show the pink pants in there. You know.
Hold on, just a second.
Guys, you good? Same again? Of course. Anything for Crown Talk.
Or perhaps a car bomb, the drink of choice after an away win.
Wow. Come on, you two, huh? You're going to pick it up, or we're not doing a self-service here.
Huh? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers again. Appropriately attired because at the 10th attempt, a big away win and a historic first away win for Charlotte FC, and a convincing one at that.
It's a great time to be a part of the club. I mean, fans, staff, players, whoever you are, it's optimism after winning that away game.
With some changes, right?
With
that was the big surprise.
Yeah.
Some sort of conspicuous, I use that word on air, omissions, and then some guys who are on the outside looking in, having a real impact on the game. But before we even get there, before we even get there, you mentioned optimism.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of optimism right now.
There is.
But I don't think there was a lot of optimism going into that game. If anything, there was a lot of pressure.
Yes, the pressure was on. And even I said to you on the broadcast, like, I don't know if playoffs should be the expectation. I was just like, look, let's take each game as it comes. After winning that game, I'm like, okay, we can win on the road. It changes everything now when you realize you can win on the road, you can coach a mentality. Now that makes playoffs really attainable. You got the home game coming up against Nashville. That's going to be a fun one.
But before we talk about Nashville, there are other things that I want to say about Houston, because it was considered one of the toughest venues that we would be visiting this season because of the temperature in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
It was 93, 94 degrees plus a lot of humidity, and you could tell that it had an impact on the pace of the game. But what really stood out to me about that performance was Charlotte FC players looked a lot fitter than the Houston players.
Well, we had
and that was with a quick turnaround as well.
We had legs out there. We were running all over them. And that midfield was an area where I was like, okay, it's going to be difficult. But no, it was difficult to play against us.
Yes.
We were the ones running around like it was our home game in that kind of heat when certain guys had just played 3 days before. And I was proud of that. As a man that knows the league and knows away games, I've been to Houston a few times. I was proud of the team.
You know, after that awesome game, we had an opportunity to talk to some of the players. I mentioned this in the broadcast as well. There was a huge sense of disappointment, feeling of disappointment. But considering not only how well the team played, keeping Austin to very limited opportunities, but you got the sense from the players that they were disappointed that they didn't get a result for their coach, Christian Lattanzio. And I thought that was very interesting to hear from the players. They're fully committed to get the results, not just for the team, but for him. And you mentioned about good coaching decisions. Yeah. And he got it all right.
He got it all right.
In Houston, right? From bringing Andres Shineshiki and Mackenzie Gaines when he did. They had an immediate impact. Obviously, Shineshiki gets the winning goal.
Before those decisions with Gaines and Shineshiki to come on, it was who to leave at home. There was tough decisions that you have to make.
Yeah.
When you make tough decisions like that, if I'm in the team and you're in the team.
Especially when you're the new man in charge.
What happens is I might phone Eric Krakauer and be like, oh my God, you see who he's left behind? And it's a whole new seriousness from us. We're like, the coach isn't playing around. Like, he's going to leave people out that are mainstays in the side. Obviously, those guys are not going to be happy to be left out, and neither should they be, but it creates more competition that everybody has to work to get into this side, and that's where we're at right now.
Well, and the guys who were brought into the 11, they justified their inclusion.
They did.
Let's talk about Quinn McNeil, a guy who only a week earlier had made his MLS debut.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's having an impact on the pitch. Sergio Ruiz looked like a monster out there. So
We need that Sergio. We
It
need
wasn't-
that Sergio right there. We need that
absolutely,
Sergio.
and that's the Sergio that we've been waiting for, because that's the Sergio who was delivering for Racing Santander
Yeah.
and then Las Palmas after that. So it wasn't only the tough decisions, they were tough decisions that ended up being the correct decisions,
Yeah.
and they got all 3 points.
The back four for me,
Outstanding.
outstanding. I like the characters that are there.
Bram Bronico protecting that back line just ahead of them as well.
Listen, it's a fun time. This is why I dressed up like this.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that we hardly saw Anton Walks before Christian Lattanzio took over, and all of a sudden Anton Walks has been
He's all-star.
sturdy
the
player
way
in that
he's
back
playing.
line,
I mean-
alongside Guzman Corujo, who's the only player who's played every single minute.
Yeah.
You know, Christian Fuchs comes back. They just look very, very solid and difficult to beat, and I actually can back that up with statistics.
Yeah. Oh, you got some stats
Thanks
for
to
us.
Caleb Adams,
Stat man.
who's a superstar. So no team has allowed fewer chances than Charlotte FC since Christian Lattanzio took over. The correct term is XG against,
XG
right? We have the
against.
lowest
We got the lowest
XG
one.
against since Christian Lattanzio took over.
I mean, that's credit to all those guys. That whole back four, Bronico, the midfield. As I said, Christian Lattanzio. Get behind him. If you're not behind him, you got to get behind him now.
100%.
First away win. I'm just speaking facts, not opinions.
Yeah.
First away win in the club history. Went out there to Houston, got it done, made the tough decisions.
But let's move on to
we're moving on, okay.
the game against Nashville.
The game against
Because, you know, I fully believe, and again, I'm going to mention Anton Walks, and I don't know if I've already said
You're gonna
this.
sip your drink, or can we cheers to Christian Lattanzio before we
Absolutely.
go on? Because he did some great stuff in that game.
Bravo, allenatore. You like my Italian there? I'm going to mention Anton Walks again, because he said,
Okay, Anton
he said
Walks.
it
He
was
said
a make or break game.
Yeah.
They needed this for that sort of optimism that you were talking about. And that optimism now has to carry over at home, not only with the players,
Yeah.
but also with the fans in the stands.
you're-
Nashville is a tough team. Tough team.
It's a tough
A
team.
team that is used to playing on the road because they played their first 8 games of the season on the road this season because their stadium, Geodis Park, was still under construction.
It's a tough team, but you know, Charlotte FC at the bank is a tough team.
Yeah.
At the bank, after that away win, our fans going crazy. We're gonna be with the fans going crazy. I mean, I feel like we're gonna give a good account of ourselves. Like, you can never predict to win or whatever, but we're in a situation where there's optimism. We can definitely go and get something. If we get something here, then we've got Inter Miami away. It's another interesting game where you can get something possibly. The future's bright right now.
Do you know what I like? I like the fact that because Lattanzio made those tough decisions about whom to leave home and what players to start in this game, there has to be a belief in the camp that there are spots to win. Nobody's place is guaranteed, and that is only going to foster more competition during practice.
The best teams out there, the best teams I've played on are ones where training is fierce. You go in every day and every moment is important. And I feel like from what I'm hearing about training and when I go down and see it, it's that kind of vibe right now where it's competitive. Guys are they're working hard in the sun.
Yeah.
I've been there and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
they're working hard. So they're still adjusting to that in a way. I think they're just getting there where it's like, it's been a few weeks now.
And
Lattanzio's been in charge.
Yeah, and still adjusting to new systems, right? Because he is implementing new ideas. We've seen it with the fullbacks. There are other things that perhaps are less noticeable. So there is a learning curve that is still going on right now.
Yeah.
You have a new coach, he hasn't had that much time, and yet the results are showing up.
Yep, the results are showing up. Nashville's coming. Got to be excited about Nashville and the rest of the season. I think, I'm never results-based. I'm always performance-based. And I feel pretty good about the performance that's coming against Nashville. They're going to be up for it. We're in pretty good shape. We're good in all phases right there. So get behind the team.
Absolutely, just need to put some more of those chances away because we could have killed that game in Houston.
We could have
perhaps
killed that game.
in the first half. We made it a little bit harder on
Yeah.
ourselves, but the win is a win. A good performance is a good performance, and you hope that it carries over. We hope that it carries over. We're going to be at Bank of America Stadium on Saturday as fans, along with all of you for the bash at the bank, and hopefully both of us will get a chance to, maybe dance a little bit with Sir Minty.
With Sir Minty.
With Sir Minty.
Oh, let's cheers to that.
Cheers to
Dancing
that.
with Sir Minty.
Cheers to
You
Sir
haven't-
Minty.
you haven't
Cheers
sipped
to
your drink.
hooligans as well.
Cheers to hooligans. Cheers to hooligans.